Go.
Welcome to the recovery room. This is probably the most common building in the game. They use it in almost every single base. I am shocked when there isn't one of these in a base. In general, unless there is a point downstairs, which I believe there are only 2 or 3 bases that actually have a point downstairs, you will spend most of your time in this building on the second floor. Each of the 2 second-story rooms have a name. This one that we are standing in currently is called Primary. It gets its name because it has a balcony. The balcony can be found over here.
Reloading.
Again, it has nothing to do with where the point is, and everything to do with the presence of a balcony. Each of the exits have a name. You have Primary Out, which is the balcony door. You have Primary Up, which is the staircase that leads upward.
Reloading.
And you have Primary Down, which is the staircase that leads downstairs. Over here, we have Secondary. It gets its name because of the absence of a balcony. There are 2 directions you defend from. You have Secondary Down,
Swapping batteries. Cover me.
and you have Secondary Up. Again, to stress this, it has nothing to do with the point. I cannot stress this enough. It has everything to do with the presence of a balcony. In general, to defend one of these, you are not to go upstairs to the roof. Let me stress that again. Do not go upstairs to the roof. It is open, you will get picked off by snipers, by people dropping on it, and generally, people are trying to bait you up there. Occasionally, we'll give a mass order to go up, but usually we'll retreat back to the second floor. Sometimes we will counterattack downstairs, but very, very rarely will we ever go upstairs. You'll typically divide up into fire teams to defend this. However, since we're not actually using fire teams for the moment, we'll divide it by maxes and heavies. You'll have each of your maxes call out a staircase, and they will defend it. Priority is always the down staircases. To defend one of these, you always are going to put your turret a little bit on the inside. Why do we put it on the inside and not the outside? Well, simple. Because when you're going around a corner, you're going to pie the corner. And good enemies will do that. So you want to make sure you have cover towards the inside. Because that is where you want to be for the most part. In general, you'll set up your shield regen devices over here. You'll have ammo on each individual side. But for the most part, you'll be as close to the center of the building as possible. For the windows, the developers like to randomly close windows and leave them open. So really, what ends up happening is that the upstairs fire teams will focus as well on the windows. But you should always be mindful of them. It is very easy to get to. It's very easy to climb up to. So your support units, while they're repairing the maxes or running around to keep healing, need to keep an eye on the window. You need to keep an eye on the line of fire and what cover you are actually afforded. Sometimes this means you have to actually defend from this angle to reduce your line of fire from the windows, because a good portion of the time it'll be tank fire that's coming in.
And it's quite easy for them to do that, even if it's just the small viewport windows.
Yep. So, while I say you want to have your turret on the inside to cover you, sometimes that's not always an option. Because if I stand right here, where he's good, I can have a pretty good shot from both windows. And that's just going to leave you dead. But in general, they only are going to have 2 ways up, except for light assaults. And these 2 ways are what we need to focus most of our forces on guarding.